Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Skull and Bones 2 and 2 here, and in today's Gears of War E-Day video, we got a banger. So, we are going to be talking about weapon attachments coming to Gears of War. Now, before anybody starts panicking and starts assuming that this is going to just turn Gears of War into Call of Duty, that's not what this is about. I think that this is going to be a breath of fresh air, especially in the way that we play the main narrative game modes like, PvE, Horde, and campaign and stuff. It gives us a little bit more diversity in the way that we play the game. Gears of War is not, new to classes. Classes have been a thing since like Gears 4 when they introduced them into Horde, kind of. And in Gears 5, they went a little bit more in depth with that. So, with guns having attachments in Gears E-Day, we can see, I'm going to put it on screen now, there's like a whole plethora of weapons we've seen and been shown so far that have this like whole new active gauge. When you active reload a gun, and the active reload will either do something like do more damage, fire the gun more quickly. It might, make the burst damage do more damage. You might have a, for the torque bow, a little insignia with the arrow on the bottom. Make the projectile go faster, farther, and hit harder. With the LMG, there's, it maybe just fires rapid fire all the time. So, you will do your active, and then obviously when the active is live with the active skill that is attached to that gun, we'll probably get a new ability for that, and that just runs through campaign and Horde. As you can see, there's like 4 slots along the side of the weapon, and that is where the attachment spaces are going. So you can probably have up to 4 attachments for your gun, whether that be a perk, physical attachment that enhances the combat versatility of the weapon. It could be a plethora of things, like a barrel extension on the Lancer, and then a red dot sight that's increasing accuracy for long-range engagements. Could be a whole bunch of things. So this is something that they're adding. We actually did get a sneak peek of this somewhat during the actual gameplay trailer itself, and they also confirmed this with the pre-order bonuses that you get. So in the pre-order bonuses, you're getting a bunch of weapon skins and also weapon mods that come with the guns. So these specific weapons will probably have unique abilities that come with the weapons. There was like a Phoenix Lancer, Dom shotgun, I don't know, special abilities tied to those weapons. I don't know how it's going to play universally, if they're going to expand upon that. It's not just for pre-order bonuses. But right now it's just the basic bare bones. You get your 4 attachments. Your gun has a active reload, amount that you have to keep track of, which is those golden bullets. And but I put it on screen here of what those pre-order bonuses look like. And like I said, it's nothing special. There's not really anything crazy on the weapons themselves. I don't see anything like laser sights, suppressors, barrels, anything like that. It just kind of looks like, a visual designation between the weapons. So there's just like obviously differences in the way the weapon skins look, and that's pretty much it. Obviously, there will probably be more abilities tied to the weapon skins, but that's the only thing that I can think of at the moment. The other thing that I want to talk about are the actual repercussions of this, and if this were to trickle into multiplayer. If for whatever the reason we do get attachments in multiplayer, that could be a thing where like we're following a meta weekly basis, which I feel is too Call of Duty, and I don't think they're going to do that. I genuinely think that these attachments are staying within the PvE realm. For multiplayer, you're just going to have to do it how you've always done it with Gears and just master the weapons, and use the weapons based off the damage they do by playing the game, and for competitive game modes, seeing which one is worth playing for. A lot of people also don't know that adding attachments and customization to Gears like completely by making your own custom stuff, which isn't something I'll dive into later on, but it's been something we received in a previous title of Gears. It's called Gears Tactics, and this Gears game is one that allowed you to customize your character, your weapon attachments, all that stuff. Actually, when we're playing the game, you can actually see, so like for the Retro Lancer, and I'll dive into that later, you actually have a diagram here shown on, the regular Lancer and the Retro Lancer. There's a stock on the gun. Now, these are just Gears Tactics, examples, but when we go into the Gears E-Day concept art, we can see for the new Mark II Lancer, there was a stock that was planned to be there, or there already is one. And there's one on the Retro Lancer and the Lancer. So I don't really know what we'll be able to do with stocks in that regard, but they are there. It's not like they're just placeholders. Like, they're genuinely there in the guns, and they might be taking up attachment spots. We don't know. Can you fold the stock, use it mid-combat for better aim? I don't know if they're going to go that in-depth. But you can see here, Dom is firing a weapon, Marcus is firing a weapon with a custom reflex sight that is actually keeping the spread tighter for long-range engagements, as opposed to the guns not having any attachments on them at all. And then those guns are kind of giving you that Gears 5 kind of Lancer play where the reticle is just humongous and there's a lot of bloom involved with those guns. So I don't know how they're going to change that depending on which attachments you put on your weapons. But like I said, we're going to have to wait and see. You know, it's something that unironically just it's just the way that the game is going to play. And like I said, it's not going to be something that I also believe trickles into multiplayer. I feel like attachments will be its own thing for campaign and you know, horde mode and stuff like that. So I also believe that if you see here, I mean, every weapon is just about going to be able to be customized, from the power weapons to your loadout weapons. You know, the snub had an extended magazine. You could have seen it on Marcus's pouch when he was walking and taking cover there. You can see gameplay of the Lancers that do have attachments, and they do drastically improve the way the weapon handles from medium to long range, as opposed to the standard Lancer gameplay that we've seen so far. But, you know, I'm excited. It just adds a lot of replayability to the game. It's something that I'm just, I can't wait for, you know? I've been wanting them to do in-depth customization like this in Gears for, I don't know how long. But I'm glad it's finally coming. So, not to worry though. I can't reiterate this a lot. You know, it is confirmed attachments and customization is coming to the game. I just don't think it's going to be influencing multiplayer as much. And we saw in Gears Tactics, there was a lot of in-depth customization for the classes, the weapons, all of that. I don't know if it'll be to that extent for Gears E-Day, but like I said, we won't know until the game comes out. And what the customization will influence as well. So that's pretty much all that I have regarding the attachments. I do want to make another video doing some lore stuff about some of the new Locust creatures that we've been introduced to. And then I also want to talk about the movement itself. I didn't really get to talk too much about that, but basically I just wanted to dive into, like, you know, the attachments, which is something that I saw, which was pretty cool. I think that was pretty important since we've never gotten that in a Gears game before. And so I believe that, you know, talking about that is kind of the priority for right now. I did have a bigger, longer video that didn't work out, so I'd had to, you know, redo it essentially for you guys. But other than that, that is it. It's your boy Skull and Bones 212 bringing you guys some more Gears E-Day news. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.